to episode 3 of Coaching of the Future. It's good to be here. Been a long time coming. I know that we missed last session, and so we finally have it now, and it's about to be fire. So, today we're talking about a very interesting topic: stop selling sessions, start building empires. My name is Folake Igudaro. I'm a digital marketing strategist and an integrative business coach. I help entrepreneurs build profitable email marketing systems. And with me is Coach David Adeoye Abodorin. He's your unfair advantage, an ultimate game changer. As an award winning coach with expertise in agile transformations, project and program management, business analysis, and cybersecurity. His multifaceted competencies deliver insights that drive results for individuals, teams, businesses, organizations, and communities. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of Coaching of the Future. So, we have 1 hour to deliver practical insights, contrarian insights, industry insights, and all the insights that you need to step up for the rest of 2025 and position yourself for creating generational wealth in 2026. The future is already here, and I'm grateful for these conversations that we're having. So, before we start, Coach David, how are you feeling today, and how are you feeling about the topic we're having today?
Awesome. I'm totally excited. I think we're going to have a very powerful conversation.
Mhm.
Everyone needs what we're about to discuss. Everyone needs it. If you're going to go into the future, especially in the age of AI, where people will not have jobs, and I'm sorry to be that blunt, some people will not have jobs, and poverty is about to increase because
Mhm.
of that.
Yeah.
There's a need to know how to recalibrate value.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's very important to know how to recalibrate value. We won't be able to escape that conversation. It's
Mhm.
totally important. It's totally important for everyone to know how to recalibrate value.
Awesome. It's so interesting that this topic it's in line with LCAN's, that's the Life Coaches Association of Nigeria. Our AGM was a couple of weeks ago, and we're basically talking about um, making money as coaches and the systems
Uh,
necessary to make money.
mhm,
So, if you're a part of LCAN and you're listening to this conversation right now, this is literally a continuation and a deeper dive
mhm,
into those systems. So, the first question I have here is um, every coach does the hourly rate, maybe a
mhm,
session is 4 hours or a session is 1 hour. That's what
mhm,
we're introduced to. So,
mhm, mhm.
but with everything that's going on now, why is the hourly session model still so common in coaching, and what's wrong with it?
Yeah, it's simple. It's common because old habits die hard.
Mm-hmm.
And when human beings have spent a level of capacity and time to craft a solution, we tabernacle there. We don't want
Mm-hmm.
to go away. We're excited about our new discovery. So the man hour was came from the industrial era. And it's a very powerful way to remunerate people. It came from the industrial era where people now got paid by hours that they spent because time is a very good denominator of efforts. But you see, the problem with the man hour rates model is that it doesn't capture value and it's actually unfair to both the person that is giving value and the person that is receiving value. Um, how do you quantify lasting change, lasting behavioral change that makes you to suddenly become more valuable for yourself? How do you quantify that you were this kind of person with this weakness? All of a sudden, you become this person now that that weakness has become a strength. How would you evaluate that as a person? How would you, is it 1 hour that it took you? Is it 2 hours? At what point in the 1 or 2 hour period, the change itself may be just 5 minutes, and that
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes has set you up on a level of manifestation and wealth that is huge. So
Yeah.
how are you going? How are you going? Hope I'm audible. I need feedback.
Yes. Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So how are you going to quantify that level of capacity in your life as a person? How
Yeah.
do you quantify you used to be worried? You used to be troubled. You used to be a nervous wreck. You didn't have a moment of
Mm-hmm.
peace. What is the worth of that to you? And how
Yeah.
much did you pay the coach who helped you to achieve it? $10,000? $5,000? After going to
Mm-hmm.
several doctors, and then the coach helped you to sleep well. So all those moments is unfair to the coach. But the real problem is that there are also many coaches who don't have significant value to push because the
Mm.
results and the outcomes are blurry.
Yeah.
You see, if I was A before, now by I passed through Coach Folake's intervention and I became A times 10 so that it is
Mm.
measurable financially. It has impact on my P&L. Then Coach Folake can charge me. But if
Yeah.
if it is not clear, especially to my P&L, all right, if it's not clear to my
Yeah.
P&L, what is the impact of that intervention, then I won't pay her. There's nothing
Mm.
anybody will say. I will not pay her. So
Yeah.
there are different dimensions to value. So it needs to become outcome P&L based, and because of that, we need to move from man hour to value based compensation. And the value based compensation is a whole model on its own because we will be looking at scope of change and scope of value as against the scope of work.
Mm.
The scope of work determines things like activities to be done. I used T
Yeah.
grew. Then we went to
Mm-hmm.
stage two. All of that is
Yes.
work done or effort.
Yeah.
What we need to
Mm-hmm.
engineer is value. So after all the
Yeah.
intervention, what happened on the other side of the device? Or
Mm-hmm.
of the device meaning the coaching enterprise, the coaching setup. At the other side of what is the
Yeah.
outcome I got? So we need to move away from billable man hours because it is totally shortchanging us from the value compensation model that we need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I totally agree. I remember Jimmy Terry was saying the time you used to coach, we have only 24 hours in a day. How many people do you want to coach in one day?
Thank
There's
you.
a cap.
Thank you.
There's a limit to that
Thank you.
already, right?
Thank you.
And then if you're coaching one person, what about in that 1 hour coaching 10 people in that 1 hour,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
And just managing the different expectations
Exactly.
of the hours.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I must say something about coaching. Coaching is meant to be personal and is meant to have the element of human capitalization.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in the age of AI, already we have AI. Meta can coach you now,
Yeah.
and the other guy, ChatGPT, can coach you. Gemini can coach you.
Yeah.
One of the reasons
Mm-hmm.
why I will need a coach is because of humanization. the
Yeah.
moment of my vulnerability that the coach can help me to achieve. And even at that, I need to still find a means as a coach to turn time to value.
Yeah.
Every single second you spend, every single minute you spend, how does that become results, not activity?
Yes.
When I finish speaking with Coach Kolake in 1 hour or 3 hours or 4 hours, is there an installed capacity? Is there something I couldn't do before as my earning power increased? Is there something I
Mm.
couldn't do before? Something I was lame at before, and then I can now work. When I finished the 6 weeks with Coach Folake, immediately my business went 10x. Instead of
Yeah.
10 customers, I now got 50 more. Even my
Yeah.
current customer, I could now serve them better. What is the
Yeah.
impact denominated in naira and kobo or pound sterling or dollar or any currency on the earth? What is the denominating result after
Yeah.
I engage the coach? That is the value-based compensation, and that you pay for the result. Now, coaches cannot get bolder. The question is, so what are the new compensation models? We can do a
Yes.
hybrid. If you're really sure of your
Mm-hmm.
coaching activity, if you're really sure of your coaching intervention, then then the
Mm.
client should not be the only person paying. So there should be earning co-earning rentals on future outcomes of the coaching endeavor. If we're designing a product and
Mm-hmm.
you are a digital product coach, then after I discuss with you, then we should be able to share
Yeah.
revenue.
Yeah.
The client should
Yeah.
not be the only person paying for that 1 hour. We are both
Yeah.
businessmen. So, because
Yeah.
after 6 or 7 weeks, we should have return on the coaching intervention. So let's say we do it
Yeah.
January this year. We do 6 weeks January this year, or January to February this year.
Yeah.
In 3 months' time, how much came in after the intervention?
Yeah. So it's like the creator model. There's something going on right
Yes,
now
yes,
where there's this app called WAP. Basically,
yes.
um, how American entrepreneurs, how they're getting views to their channels
Oh yeah,
now is that they start to pay other
oh
creators
yeah,
to share clips of their
oh
videos,
yeah,
and then per 1,000 views or 500 views, however they've set their means of
oh yeah,
compensation, they say, okay, for this video we are sharing $5,000, ten
oh
thousand
yeah,
dollars. So everyone, here's the link to the
oh
video,
yeah,
clip it and share it on your
oh yeah,
platforms. If your video gets 1,000 views, send it to us. We'll look
oh
at
yeah.
it, qualify it, and pay
That
you.
is the
So the currency is being exchanged. Everybody is getting a
that is the
bits and
that
pieces
is the
of the content
that
flowing, which is an amazing
those are the
model.
kind of models. Those are the kind of models that coaches need to embrace. We need
Mm-hmm.
to co-create with the client. You cannot just say, oh, just pay me my $300 per hour, $500 per hour, and I'm done.
Yeah.
After I finished
Yeah.
whatever kind of coach you are, after we finish the intervention, what happens? So there must be
Yeah.
return on the
Yeah.
investment of time. So those are the new. So there's the hybrid model. The hybrid
Yes.
model is you pay a basic fee for the coaching intervention,
Mhm.
and then we heap majority of the future profits of the new solutions being
Yeah.
developed, all right, on the coaching intervention. We can now agree on percentage. So the percentage is the
Yeah.
variable in between, which is
Yeah.
for every product that gets sold, for every item that gets sold, this is the new thing you're going to get. Excuse me. For every item that's not sold, this is how we're going to share the loss, that kind of thing in quotes. And the
Yeah.
third one is purely value-based compensation model. Which means brutal value. Coach Falaki and I are coming to
Mhm.
invest into some particular product platforms, and we are succeeding together.
Yeah.
And the way we're going about it is that we will not make money until money comes in both of us, and we split 50%, 80%. But those are the new models between the clients and the coaches
Yeah.
that need to come up. So we need to think about value-based compensation
Yeah.
model. The other
Yeah.
thing is that for coaches need to niche. You see, when you are not unique, you are commodity. So there are
Mhm.
two ends of the value spectrum: commodity and being rare. Commodity on one side,
Yeah.
being rare. So if you are a commoditized coach that does what everybody does, the
Yeah.
lesser you can earn. AI would easily
Mm.
erase you because you become a
Yeah.
repeatable task bearer. So
Mm.
the second thing to think about is uniqueness of your service. Any coach at all or any knowledge worker, how do you uniquify yourself so that AI is not easy to replace you? So let me stop there on that first question. So that's what's wrong with the billable hour. The billable hour commoditizes all of us, and it's a convenient, lazy way. It doesn't give us
Yes.
mental. We don't need any accountants. We don't need to think value. We don't need to think. Just place how much for the hour. Blunt. That's all.
Yeah. So, what's the first mindset shift a coach needs to make to start thinking like an ecosystem builder? And the key word there is ecosystem builder, because I know a lot of coaches only think in terms of someone should refer a client to me, and then we have our coaching session. That is it. When it even comes to creating content, creating value online, even if it's just to write articles or just do short videos of things they've seen clients struggle with and offer their advice, they struggle so hard with it. It's just so many excuses. I don't have time. My background is ugly. My environment is noisy. Oh, I have 50 million children. It's just so many things. To now think of an ecosystem builder, we're talking about a system with multiple relating factors working simultaneously. And the fact that we also have some coaches that are, I would say, uh, lazy to take up the time to learn the tech skills or employ the labor to build the system.
Yeah, that's a very powerful question right there. And shout out to all the people online, all my good friends online. I see you all, and I celebrate every single one of you. Please let me drop in a comment wherever you are from, what you're listening. If you're picking up a point, Coach Folaki and I are so excited to have you. Please help us just shout out to us and let's know if you have a question. We'll see it will synchronize and come in the main chat. And I'm totally excited to be here today. Let me just write something on the screen. LOO. Just a minute. So about the mindset shift, while I'm trying to type that, um, number one, the to recognize that the mindset. So recognize mindset. So there is a recognition system that a coach
Mm-hmm.
or an entrepreneur needs to have. Coachpreneurs need to have. There is to know that there's a different way that is ecosystem builder wakes up. Sorry for my English slip. Wakes up versus a single solopreneur.
Mm.
If you're an ecosystem builder, there is a way your mind is constructed to work. For example,
Yeah.
you lose what you call some of your identity.
Mm.
You lose some of you are forced to lose some of your identity internally to understand that it's an
Yeah.
internal adjustment.
Yes.
that you now have to depend on others. For example, as simple as getting to a particular location early or starting a show early. Like this evening, I was the reason why Coach Falake was late. I mean, by the time we came on, Ice was already. She wanted to give me and say, "Look, look, look, look. We need to address this lateness issue." Now, as far as she was concerned, she was totally ready to go. Now, but that depended on me. Building ecosystems would mean that you become a team player, but the word play suggests that it's external.
Mm.
You must become a team personality, meaning that you know the way I have an uncle who would always check after you've locked the doors in the house when we're
Mm.
growing up. You go round to check
I
the
think
doors again. I never understood that thing until many years later. I was camp commandant in a teenage camp.
mm,
Then I understood why we had to lock, why I had to go round. For the first time, it became clear to me. Because in my house, I'm a firstborn. After I lock the door, and my dad or and mom would check the door in my earliest teenage years, I have an uncle. When he was with us, he will still check the lock. Bless you. He will still check the lock.
mm-hmm.
I never understood that thing. In fact, at times he will ask me, D, have you locked the door? I said, I told him I've locked the door.
So
Then
okay,
he
and
gets, then he will now check again. I'm like, what was that about? Now, being a team player means that you must accept internally that you are not you are weak
yeah.
as weak as the weakest link. You are strong as your weakest link. For example,
Mm-hmm.
it means that your sleep will be reduced. The system of you coordinating and thinking through the ecosystems become more important than your personal productivity. If your personal productivity, immediately know that it's very small. Begin to know. A lot of us still think that. A lot of people still think that. For example, all my results is 80% me or
Mm.
90% me. The more somebody thinks that all my results is 100% others and 1% me, that person is moving closer. So the shift's going to happen in phases. It's
Yeah.
going to start dawning on you the bigger your enterprise gets,
Mm.
how very, very incapable, how very, very incompetent, and how very, very
Yeah.
small you are versus the outcomes you are looking for. When that happens to
Mm-hmm.
you, yes, the mentorship has started. You are going to succeed as an ecosystem builder, the degree to which you quickly accept.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what time you wake up. At a certain level, if your driver comes late, that's the end of the game. It doesn't
Mm.
matter how early you wake up. You live in Lagos, you're a CEO, and you run your coaching business, and you cannot drive yourself to
Mm.
that engagement. In fact, if you could drive yourself to the engagement, you're not an ecosystem builder. So let's assume, as simple as what time your driver arrives. So your driver cannot be leaving, for example, you're going to take off from Aja, and your driver is leaving Lokoko. Now that's like two ends of the city. For those who know Lagos, people that know Lagosians forgive me
Yeah.
for that example. But at the end of the day, you have to start thinking of others more and how they are going to
Yeah.
deliver their deliverables. The moment you have that shift,
Yeah.
your business is ready for scaling. The
Mm-hmm.
less you are bothered about what others are doing in your business, the less you're
Mm-hmm.
going to. You're not an ecosystem builder yet, and it's not. It's a matter of time. You are not building an ecosystem, but the and that's why entrepreneurs lose sleep. That's why true coachpreneurs who are trying to become ecosystem builders lose sleep. The job does not concern you, has nothing to do with your coaching competence. In fact, there comes a time when it can happen that 80% of what you are doing is not coaching at all. Those are the signs that you've moved outside of your comfort zone. And so that's the first major shift, I think, because the beautiful thing is that I have consulted in process reengineering, how to move
Mm-hmm.
from a one-man shop to a real enterprise. So I know how enterprise thinking and all the seismic shifts that a one-man owner has to turn. And there are people that try to make that move, but mentally they've not shifted. I mean, I know people that if you're still bogged down with diesel costs, still
Mm.
calculating diesel costs, You're you're still
Yeah.
bothered about how generator is not yet fueled. And really, if you don't do it, nobody does it well. It take a while to get to system builder. The
Yeah.
first thing you notice as a system builder is that you have to delegate, but those are the externals. Delegate, bring other people in. The first one is the internal shift, the humility to accept that your success or failure is not totally more dependent on others than you. Then you are building an ecosystem. That's a major first shift that I've experienced.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned team, right? Because I was watching a video on YouTube. I don't remember who it was, but I think it was Sam Altman, and he was saying that we are now in an era where we can have individuals building multi-million dollar
Yes,
businesses, just one person,
yes,
because of the tech stack that they
yes.
have. So you have come from the perspective of the human beings around you that form your
Even the
ecosystem.
systems,
I
even the systems, even
Yeah,
the systems. Okay, so let me edit that. Thank you for that. Even the
yeah,
systems will be manned by human beings
yeah,
or will be built
yeah.
by human beings.
Systems manned by human beings, and I look at the coaches that struggle with, because when you talk about team, right, you start from hiring maybe an assistant, and then you hire a social media manager, and then you hire, like so. And I look at a lot of coaches that struggle with social media managers, they struggle with graphics designer. And I'm wondering, okay, we now have tools that can do these things, and
Mhm,
but it's not just one tool. You require multiple tools working together simultaneously to build your tech team, right? Especially
mhm,
when, if the coach is on a budget.
mhm,
So
mhm,
um I will look at it from the perspective of time, and
mhm,
coaches need to have a better relationship with
mhm,
time, understanding that because time is
mhm,
currency, and we only have limited time to get
mhm.
results, the more uh, people and tools you have to multiply your effort, the more successful you
Totally
are.
correct.
when you look at I mean, look at my campaigns, for
Yeah,
example, right? Before AI, I used to write all my copies by
yeah.
myself. And imagine we're running 3 campaigns a
Mm,
week. So I'm writing about 50 emails
mm,
for the campaigns. It was a
mhm.
lot. But now ChatGPT does the
Yep,
heavy lifting, and I'm currently building an AI agent that will now do the work of automating the content that has been generated, so that I remove myself from that workflow. That means I can attend to, maybe before I could do 3 campaigns a week on my own. Now with AI, I can do 10, 20
absolutely.
campaigns a
Absolutely.
week. That means more clients,
Absolutely.
more
Absolutely.
money, a better
Absolutely.
system, and that's an
Yep.
ecosystem, because administration is involved, content is
Absolutely.
involved, and the content cuts across video, text,
Mhm,
audio,
mhm,
everything, right? So that is something to also
mhm.
consider. Now, uh, what revenue streams are most overlooked by coaches right now?
You're on the money. Number one, the online revenue streams are totally in the blind spot of many coaches. We have not even started.
Mm,
We have not even started. Let me say it again. On the online scene, we have
mm-hmm.
not even started. Majority of the coaches today are stuck on the traditional models. If any coach is listening to
Yeah.
me and you've not hired, or any knowledge worker, you've not hired Coach Folake, for example, to help you or to help you look at what you're doing. And I'm not saying that because she's the one co-presenting with me. She does a very good job. The truth is, the revenue streams we are overlooking today are huge.
Mm.
One,
Yeah.
not many coaches are doing enough in the e-event space. There are
Yeah.
event warehoused event platforms all over the world. I'll just mention
Mm-hmm.
two, but there are about 10 of those that have ready audiences and people interested, and you are ready to go. There's Meetup and there is
Meetup.
Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Those two, and there are other ones all over the world. I've not flipped it by saying you can be an English person and do German events. There's already sufficient AI capacity now to help you translate anything you're saying right as you are talking. They'll be hearing their
Yeah.
language. So that's an example. Another one is we don't have enough materials from coaches on the knowledge platforms like what's the guy, their names just keep me popular, Udemy, um,
Yeah.
um, there's another Udemy, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning.
Sarah.
We don't Coaches are not using those platforms enough. That's the second one.
Mm.
The third one is that we're not using social media learning or edutainment, that is creating content that is entertaining, topical, yet
Yeah.
is laced with knowledge, so that people, because attention span has reduced remarkably. So that's the third one. The fourth
Mm.
one that I know is that coaches are not using gamification enough.
Yes.
Augmented reality, virtual reality, all of those things. I mean, your clients, we should we should we should create solutions that affect the five senses. We should create
Yes.
interventions that can hit the five senses of a human being. Today
Mm-hmm.
we still are stuck in the classroom in quotes and in casual interaction. So those are my strongest points. I have a couple of other ones. I was talking to a coach friend of mine a few days ago, and he was sharing with me what he's doing in South Africa. It was so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was forced to shout when he told me there's a lot we can still learn in terms of regional collaboration. We don't have sufficient
Yes.
collaboration among coaches all over the world. Although recently I saw some wonderful moves. I saw the gentleman, what's his name now? Anthony Robbins, where
Mm-hmm.
he was literally I'm looking online for that ad. If you go to the Anthony Robbins website, you're a coach. You can co train with him for a certain amount, and it's now very affordable. Before it used to be very expensive, but what I saw online
Mm.
was very affordable. So we need to do more of those kinds of things as coaches. We are leaving those revenue streams untapped. The other thing is that we are not
Mm.
niching enough. We are not niching enough. We are not niching enough. Let me tell you a couple of things I've observed, and this is in the context of local coaching community. When you talk about, for example, somebody is depressed or has
Yeah.
non-clinical depression, what name comes to
Mm-hmm.
mind in the Nigerian coaching space? I'm sorry, I'm throwing this ball openly. If somebody has real habit problem, and the problem is lateness, what coach comes to mind? In the habit school, my very good friend Banky Williams comes to mind. At organizational change
Mm.
levels, Coach Larry
Mm.
comes to mind at some, who's a mentor to many of us, at some levels. But there's still a lot of uncharted territory. Everybody is doing what everybody is doing. We are not niching well enough. In Nigeria, my
Yeah.
opinion, Across Africa, there are some names, but how well are they known? So we are
Yeah.
leaving revenue streams of branding. People are not sufficiently known for what they carry. So I need to get need to get some
Yeah.
water. So people are not known. Just a minute. People are not known sufficiently for what they carry. In addition to being a very excellent coach, how do we know that if I speak to you, my result is 100% guaranteed? How do I know? You
Mm,
understand what I'm saying? The other
yeah.
thing is that um, how do I say this? My is there something my client needs today
Mm,
that they need that is like addictive to them, that they need that they can't survive with, and that I'm giving them? Every coach should write that down. That is the list to work on. That is the revenue stream you're leaving on the table. Is there something that my client needs that they cannot live without? That is what to build into a community. So the revenue streams we are living also revolve around communities and loyalty. We're not tapping into loyalty enough. Why should a client experience you and go away? In
yeah.
consulting, we make a joke. We enter and then we never leave.
Mm,
Why shouldn't your client's mind develop a honey sugar pleasurable, memorable interaction with your brand as a coach, because you are literally oxygen to them? I'm using these metaphors to open. I
yeah.
mean, coaches should write down oxygen and design your product and services into your community with addiction in mind. And people should really pay for this one I'm saying. Write
Yeah.
down honey, taste honey in your mouth, and write down what is the feeling that honey gives. Please don't take too much honey because of diabetes or too much sugar. But I mean, just put honey or cake in your mouth and then write down the feeling and turn your product and use that
Yeah.
to craft your product in a way
Yep.
that your clients are totally desperate to have you in the room every
Mm-hmm.
single day.
Yeah.
That is what we need to build into communities and
Mm-hmm.
loyal groups of people. We need to serve our clients
Yeah.
until we achieve that. So those are the revenue streams we are living
Yeah.
today, because he or she who loves you can spend any amount of money for you or your product. But when people don't
Yeah.
love you enough, then there's a screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's great that you mentioned community and you mentioned basically the value chain, you know. And you also mentioned niching down. And most coaches have this idea of, because I have certifications in multiple things and because I have multiple giftings, so I am everything to everybody. And obviously, that is a bad business decision, especially if you're just starting out, right? Amazon started as selling just books, and now they are into almost everything. And it's also one of the reasons why I had to niche down into email marketing automation. Yes, I have my digital marketing certification, but digital marketing is so broad. You have ads, you have social media, you have copywriting. There is so many things. It causes confusion with content, it causes confusion with your branding, confusion with your messaging, confusion with your offer. So you literally have to, someone was saying this on LinkedIn, one audience, one product, one platform, one offer, and then just keep hammering on that every single time. And as coaches, we know the power of repetition in programming the subconscious mind. So when the message is clear, You're basically auto suggesting your offer, your business, your value as the best choice in the market. And people hear it over and over and over again. That's how you get to be known as, oh, the coach for email marketing, the coach for behavioral change, the coach for making money online, the coach for laziness, and
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it
Because
is. So it's not limiting your giftings. You are just simply focusing on one thing and doing it multiple ways, as opposed to multiple things multiple ways. That is confusion
yeah, yeah,
breaking.
yes, yes. And to add to what you're saying, and thank you for that, Coach Folake. To add to what you're saying, what is called top of mind awareness? Top of mind
Mm-hmm.
awareness. That
Yeah.
if I was to mention a category of any product or service to become top number one or two in the construct of the world today, maybe because of the internet, it has improved a little bit, but in the construct of the world today, it takes 30 years.
Mm.
Top of mind awareness to be a category leader, it takes 25 to 30
Yeah.
years for brand awareness and top of mind awareness of any product or category. It can move
Yeah.
plus or minus 2 or 3%, 1 to 3% in a physical year. So in between the
Mm-hmm.
day you decide to niche down and the date you get known by a certain large amount of bodies of water or human beings, think about the ocean, and you want to colonize a particular place, it takes a level of dedicated consistency, niching down, like you said,
Yeah.
and serving different audiences and making them addicted to your value. This is the
Yeah.
assignment of every knowledge worker. And that is not just coaches alone, project managers, business analysts, strategists. Look, I used to have a barber, John, in many years in Nigeria. I mean, because now I do the skin thingy, so I don't need him as I used to. But I used to travel from Abuja, I kid you not, to Lagos to come and barb. Yeah, not another person happened to me. Now, please, it's not as if I was very rich.
Too much money. I was
No,
about to say,
no, no. I timed my visits to Lagos to be once in a month or once in
when you need to get a
because I went to
haircut.
Abuja to barb my hair, and then the person, the guy barbed this place. There's a funny feeling when a man barbs. You are looking funny. You're looking like a joke.
Oh my goodness.
I I had to go and see John. And John reconfigured my hair. I mean, I'm missing him, although I don't live in Nigeria anymore, but I'm missing him because now I have to do the slam dunk thing and I'm like this. But the bigger point is he was my stylist. He never made a mistake when he barbed. So you need to have a hand. You need
Yeah.
to have a hand. When people see your hand on the
Mm-hmm.
ground, they say this is Coach Folake's mark. Now, and you need
Mm.
to make many people loyal to that thing or that group of services that you have.
Yeah.
And building a community
Yeah.
is a must. A lot of coaches have communities and they're not tending to them. They're not serving their community. They're not in touch with
Mm.
their community. And it's more, and the other thing I
Yeah.
like to say is I've noticed that, I think I told you this, we are more celebrity coaches than celebrities.
Yes.
And really, look, it's not about the medical doctor. It's about
Yeah.
whether your patient gets well.
Yeah.
So if
You mentioned so communities. I
yeah,
noticed
go on.
something. Um, WhatsApp communities, especially. I'm in so many groups, and it can be such a marketplace, right? When you have a community and it's open for people to engage, and then it now becomes a
Yeah,
marketplace because everybody now starts to promote their
yeah,
own thing. And what I see is that um, the communities need to be like the word coming to mind is an egregor. Like it takes on a life of its own that that still carries the energy of the vision behind the community. Everybody is pushing the one thing, the one message. Everybody is following the same rules and everybody is behaving in the same manner, almost like a cult, right? And I know that a lot of coaches shy away from that idea, but the truth is that the word cult is not a bad thing. You're basically creating an energetic signature where everybody is tuned in to that same frequency and then they are carrying the same message in their own different ways. Because by the time your community becomes a marketplace, then you don't really have control. Everybody is just in there for their own agenda and their own
Mm-hmm.
selfish reasons. But when there's a unification of
Mm-hmm.
mind, that is when you have a
Mm-hmm.
community, because the community will naturally grow
Mm-hmm.
itself, build
Mm-hmm.
itself, and get
Mm-hmm.
better. So there's a mindset to
Mm-hmm.
that, to knowing how to transfer the energy and then spread that
I
energy.
totally agree with you. There is how to engineer. Remember, I said the first seismic shift is that
Mm-hmm.
I am now five persons in one. There are now five people who must succeed through my assistance and my efforts. I am not alone anymore. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a lone ranger anymore. Those are very powerful seismic shifts that need to be made. So, how do you engineer a community to work with you, and then the
Mm-hmm.
same spirit and the same identity, the same ethos, pathos, uh, uh,
Yeah.
kairos, chronos. There are about five things: ethos, pathos, logos in kairos and chronos. Ethos, pathos, logos, both in kairos and chronos. The same thoughts, feelings, emotions, imaginations, mindset that is in the soul
Yes.
of the creator of the empire must transmit and become culture. That's cult. That's
Yeah.
cult and culture. So
Yeah.
how do you engineer that? There are mathematical formulas and ways of doing it. There is actually there's a science behind it and it must be engineered. It must be deliberate because every empire will rise and fall to the degree of the strength of the soul of the emperor. The emperor is like
Yes.
a center core, and then his influence begins to shift out and spread out. So if
Mm-hmm.
the core is not clear, so the lead formula is core multiplied by expressions and or platforms. So if the core message or the core person isn't clear in terms of identity,
Yeah.
unique proposition,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot funnel through and transmit to the channels accurate single proposition. The idea of a single
Yeah.
unique proposition must be sorted and settled, multiplied by
Yes.
number of platforms or expression, or raised to number of
Exactly.
platforms or expression. So the bigger your community, and a lot of people don't slow down to grow. They don't slow down to grow. No, they don't
Yeah.
slow down to grow. If you have 10 people in your WhatsApp group, spend time to incubate them before you bring up another
Mm-hmm.
20. But a lot of us want 250 people on day one because you want to brag. The problem is that people are coming from different places.
Mm-hmm.
Before you get, thank you, Uzoma or Ranebo, every empire will rise and fall to the degree of the emperor core,
The Emperor's
the
Code.
soul of the emperor. If it's a weak emperor at the soul
Yeah.
level, the empire will be weak. So, for example, posting on WhatsApp groups. She said, my head one blue. Thank you for your comment. Please keep the comment up, share with your friends, let them join us. Let me say this. If as
Mm-hmm.
an emperor, you've not settled who you want to be and how you want to come across through the realm,
Yeah.
there'll be problems.
Yeah.
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 So
Absolutely.
that's my take on that. We need to build a community because the community is your stream of income. Every single person in your community is either a profit factor or a liability, which
Yeah.
means there must some
And
deliberateness in
mhm,
acquiring community. Don't go
yes.
don't go and put cow with chicken. I don't want to put the
Yep.
Yoruba rendition that's very funny. But do not even attempt to bring everybody to your community. There's a group of persons you have been sent
Yeah.
to. Locate them. Those who don't know you've been sent to them will soon find out. But your community is a stream of
Mm-hmm.
income at at at, at micro level, macro in the middle, and at macro the highest, and meso in the middle. So at individual levels, in groups of 10, 10, 20, 30s, hundreds, and at the bigger level, you've been sent to people at different levels. So build and engineer your core across the levels in a deliberate way.
Yeah.
And the only way to do it is to talk to
Uh,
Coach Falake and yours truly.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting you said the thing about when you have just 10 people in your WhatsApp group and you want to quickly have 500. I remember when my email list was 60 people. And then we went for this Google training, and the lady was saying, "Oh, I have 1,500 people on my email list." And I was like, "Hey, God,
Man, no.
when? Oh, when?" And immediately I said that,
Yeah.
I remember a voice just said, "The one that you have you finished nurturing them?" I said, "Okay, it's fine." I need to focus on the 60 that I have. Now I have over 3,000. And, it's you're basically asking for more responsibility. So for you to get more responsibility, you must first increase your capacity to be grounded in who you are, what your value is, and how you express it, your capacity to handle people, because truly, truly, leadership is not
let me
easy. You're dealing with
let me
people with
help.
different
Thank you.
personalities,
Different
energy.
kind of energies. Now to condition them into the energy. You see, let me tell you something. Apple has conditioned us to energies. Whether you like it or not, people are
Mm,
going to queue when the next Apple will come out. It took some years
yeah.
for the guy has conditioned that you should be calm and line up for my product to come out. Samsung will never do that to us. But it took a while. I know a lot of people, you say, what nonsense. What are you telling me? I cannot queue for Apple. They are queuing.
Yeah.
What's my point? It takes a while to culture people into your
Yeah.
own line of thought and channel and synchronize their energy with yours. But you must do it. There's something
Mm,
interesting inside what you're saying. You have 3,000 people today. If just 1,000 of them decide to buy your product, no, 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 no. Let's say
exactly.
200. Let's say 200 just decide to
Abby.
buy your product. Where are your customer
Mm-hmm.
service assistants? Where are those
Yeah.
that will receive their orders? How do we
Yeah.
ensure that this book that you want to send to 200 people, let's assume theoretically that is not ebook, that it's a physical book.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to dispatch 200 books? Save, thank God you have Amazon,
Yeah.
so they can go ahead and order on Amazon, which is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But if not for Amazon, for
Yeah.
example, if just 200 of them need your coaching service, and this is a very
Yeah.
sobering point, most of us have what is enough inside our plate.
Mm,
Proverbs, I'm sorry, I want to use the
yeah.
scripture now. Say the eyes of a fool runs to and fro the surface of the earth.
Yes.
Most of us say, but a diligent man pays attention to what is in front of him. Most of us have enough, but we are able to, oh, he has 5,000. Oh, he has 20,000. Oh, I want to grow my followership. But there are people's phone calls you've not returned. There are people who have asked for your
Yes.
brochure you've not sent to them. Out of these 10
Mm-hmm.
to 20 people, and godliness with contentment is great gain. Let me paraphrase my own language.
Mm-hmm.
Godliness with contentment is capital. You see, what
Yes.
is not making a lot of coaches niche down is eye insects, what my grandmother calls ojukokoro. We are not grateful. We are
Yes.
not grateful with what we have. We are not grateful for the
Mm-hmm.
people we have. A lot of us are looking for another person's office, another person's crowd. The 10 people on your WhatsApp group or 200 people, one of them could actually patronize and give you 100 million naira or
Yeah.
$500,000. But majority of us are looking too far and too wide. So we're not engaging our community and those that know us already enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Um, I like what you said. You said godliness with content
Yes,
is
it's great
capital.
gain. On the P&L of
Yeah.
life,
It's
yes, on the
great.
P&L of life is capital.
Yeah.
Godliness with
Yeah.
contentment is great gain because
Mm-hmm.
contentment will make you focused. It will
Yeah.
give you the capital, the emotional capital to focus on what's in your
Mm-hmm.
hand
Yeah.
before you start looking for extra.
Yeah. And the momentum is in focus. The exponential growth is in focus. The compound effect is in focus. Imagine someone who is investing. Today, you take out your money, they put money back, they take it out. You don't leave it to mature and grow. How can you truly measure your ROI that, okay, my investment has brought in such and such percentage? You literally have to focus on the one portfolio and leave it there for a good number of months or years, let it mature, and then you reap your dividend. Patience is so key
It's
here.
huge.
Patience. Okay, so how then do you decide what digital products or memberships or to launch first?
How do you decide? That's a very deep question. Number one, what is working the most in your life as a coach? What is the signature moment?
Yeah.
What is the signature moment that people? What's the genius moment that people connected to you the most? As a coach, what is your genius? What is that thing that you can do well and others can't do well and your client needs heavily and they are willing to pay for? You need to find a means of automating that value,
Yeah.
that genius point. To automate the value is the first place to start from. You need to automate that value. You need to you at least don't let's hide behind big words. You need to want to use technology and all systems around you to
Mm-hmm.
serve more people in a
Yeah.
shorter time.
Yeah. Absolutely agree. There are multiple models. If it's a book, if it's a challenge, if it's a quiz, if it's a test, if it's an online course, membership subscription. Is it annual? Is it monthly? Is it bi-monthly, bi-weekly? And we're going back to
Yep.
capacity, isn't
Yeah.
it? What are you capable of? Don't reach for more than you can
Mm-hmm,
handle. And then as you grow in capacity, you can start to
mm-hmm,
expand. And obviously, everyone here listening, it means that you are in a good space to
mm-hmm,
expand your capacity, understand where
mm-hmm,
you're at, what is needed to get to the
mm-hmm,
next
mm-hmm,
level, and then you are willing to do what it takes to get to the
mm-hmm.
next level. It's one thing to know what you need to do, it's another thing to actually summon the energy, even when you don't feel like it, to do the thing. So make sure that, you know, everyone listening, you're not just listening and saying, "Ooh, oh my gosh, wow, this is amazing." Uzoma said, "My head won't blow." Okay, please keep your head together. Don't let it blow. Make sure that you have the energy to actually take action on everything that we're saying here. We are almost 1 hour, but let's do quick fire session, right? So quickly, what are the risks of scaling too fast without a solid
The
ecosystem
risks,
plan?
the risks are too big. The risks are too big. Please don't do it. I beg you. I'm personally begging. I am using everything to advise you. Please don't do it. When people get disappointed, they don't come back. There's something called
Yeah.
bloatedness. You overpromise what you cannot deliver. It's a very sad place to be as a coach. You don't do that to your brand. It's better for you to slow down and it's okay not to meet people. I mean, there's something called in networking power meetups. Somebody can say now, I want to introduce you to Bill Gates or whatever. He meets people every day. You're just
Yeah.
going to be in the statistics. So don't go for the
Mm-hmm.
meeting because there's no product in your hand. There is the meeting
Yeah.
and there's the substance inside the meeting. The moment you begin to talk
Yeah.
about what Bill Gates needs, he begins to love talking to you. You begin to do
Yeah.
business. Until you are memorable, then don't show up. There's
Yeah.
no need rushing. There's no need rushing. And it's okay to be simple or gentle at the first time. But until your value is ready for the market, it's okay to be simple and gentle.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a design that is not too
Yeah.
complex, but simple and presentable.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a website that
Exactly.
is on day one. Is a
Everything is moving every day. It's bright. Everything is happening there. It's offering everything by fire by force. You must.
and then it's looking like a market space where we are making a lot of noise. No,
You
no need.
know.
Don't do that to your brand. Absolutely
Yes.
unneeded. So the first thing is
Yeah.
don't bloat. Calm down.
Yeah.
Select your pace and your size. Select the power moments. Be in control of the tab. Number two, don't hire before you are ready to manage. Develop the capacity to
Yeah.
manage. So don't forget to open up market opportunities when you're not ready to supply it. The other thing is that don't forget that in coaching, a lot of it's your personal brand. So don't allow your team.
Yeah.
So don't hire people and bring them into a big market that you hire just 2% and then you have a need for 10 people. Meanwhile, your management capacity must also
Mm.
grow. And when
Yeah.
clients sense that you are a joke, they won't give you the next dollar. And
Yeah.
lastly, let me share this. McKinsey, in a research, I'm going to post this, says 70%. Let me look for that data. Yes. 70% of scale initiatives fail due to lack of
Mm.
clear operating model, not a lack of demand. So demand is not going away. Don't bother. Demand will remain there.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have everything working together. That's what McKinsey says. Yep.
And to add to that, it's like your tech tools. That's why they have free plan, basic plan, beginner plan, pro plan, organizational plan. So you might think that you need several functions in your business. For example, when we are looking at email marketing applications, there are some that offer 1,000 free, 2,000 free, 500 free. If your email list is less than
Yeah.
100, why do you need 2,000 or
Mm-hmm.
5,000? Then you'll be worried that, oh, it's so expensive, I can't pay for it. But there is a free plan. Yes, it has limited functionalities, but have you mastered those limited
Mm-hmm.
functionalities
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
first? And then as you grow, you
Mm-hmm.
expand. And all the tools are set up like this to work according to your
Mm-hmm.
capacity. So as you're executing on everything that we've said, also pay attention to the tools you have access to so that you can fully use them according to your capacity. The next
Mm-hmm.
question is um, what's one example of a coach who made the leap from selling time to building an empire? And what can we learn from them? I want to share real quickly. I know Jimmy Tewe, he was at our Elkan AGM, and he was saying how he's moved to the US now, and he realized that, he used to do one-on-one coaching a lot, and he just realized it was not working. So he had to move to group coaching, and not just group coaching, he had to develop multiple digital products and create a lead generation system so that the digital products are bringing him income on one hand, then people are paying for group coaching, another revenue stream. And then he's also working with corporations, organizations, which is a bigger revenue stream. So with these, he has an ecosystem bringing in revenue, and his focus is, what is my monthly recurring revenue? It has to keep going up every single day. So I just thought to share that, Coach
That's
David, you
that's
can
a
go
very
ahead.
rare. What you just shared now is a gem, and everyone should actually imbibe it. Coach Jimmy is someone I know very well. Thank you for sharing about him. We don't talk often, but he's a great man. Um, to the question, when you, as a coach, sorry, please ask the question again. The example of Jimmy, I was recording it in my mind, so I'll not forget. Please ask the question before I rant, because I made a mental note that I've not spoken to him in a while. I'm going to reach out to him. Okay, who is a coach? Your question is, who
Okay,
is a coach
a
has
coach that
made
has moved from selling time to building an empire, and what can we learn?
uh, a couple of them. Brian Tracy did it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, John Maxwell has done it. Uh, Anthony Robbins has done it. In fact,
Yeah.
Anthony Robbins went from coaching and therapy to more global events. So Anthony Robbins does events of
Mm-hmm.
5,000 attendees, where each person pays maybe 1,000 thereabouts, or 1,002 or three or four. That's the cheapest ticket. And there are people that pay 5,000.
He's also in the digital products online business space where
Oh
he
yeah, oh
teaches
yeah,
people how to build their business online. It's called Knowledge Broker Blueprint with Dean Graziosi, and it's like, it's
oh yeah.
less than $500. It's
It's big.
crazy.
It's big. It's big, and people are doing it. The late Miles Monroe did significantly well for pastors and ministers of the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
He is my model when it comes to these things. He did very well. He did very well. Uh, uh, in Africa, there's Vusi Tembekwayo, who by the
Yeah.
same who we share alumni, when the same alumni group at Holt. Remarkable gentleman.
Mm.
Um, um, in Nigeria, there's Reverend Sam Adeyemi,
Yes.
who is doing very well in that regard. Coach Lani Olushola doing very well in that regard. Of course, I'm one of the not too close sons who are always troublesome, and which is okay. But on a serious note, he's done very well. You mentioned Jimmy Tewe, Bankole Williams. There's somebody else, Remy Dairo, although we've grown apart over the years, but it's another
Mm.
good brother. Uh, in terms of creating digital platforms and products, there are a couple of groups here and there, but these are the
Yeah.
ones that stand out for me. And you are doing well, by the way, especially because I see you leading. I know a lot about AI, so I see you leading the
Yeah.
charge in deploying AI and putting your
Yeah.
money where your mouth is. And you're
Yeah.
not you're not pandering. You're not pandering to anyone. You're not deflecting or genuflecting anything. You're going
Yeah.
for the bullseye. So that for me
Yeah.
is a lot.
Yeah.
Who else do I know? These are the names that come to mind. But Anthony Robbins stands out significantly. It keeps
Yes.
evolving, it keeps
Yeah.
changing,
Yeah.
and is very, very deliberate about changing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very inspiring. You know, when during COVID, when he shared his story of how he came up with the screen to do the live shows, he started that, and he shared the story of how they came up with the idea and how difficult it was, but they had to get it done in less than 6 weeks or eight
Wow.
weeks
Wow.
thereabouts, and they did it. Now everybody is copying
Wow.
him. because it works and it's interesting, where you can see all the faces, and it's a 360 view. So on the screen, he would have like 200 people
Wow.
showing.
Wow. That's super
Um,
amazing.
it's really
Wow.
amazing.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it is.
That's lovely. So those are the
Yeah.
ones that I know that have done significantly well in our climb. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So to close off, how can we use technology? I'm sure we've covered this in one way, but this is just to close off. How can technology help coaches deliver value without being always on? I'm imagining those coaches that are scared of always being online, creating content all the time, having to show up on, just everything all the time. How does the technology help to make sure we're not always on and we have time for family and other things that
Yeah.
really matter?
There's something called asynchronous coaching, and I'm putting the tools in the chat. Asynchronous coaching is coaching when you don't need to be in sync. Tools like Voxer, Loom, AI-driven journaling apps can help you do client interaction. Remember, the depth of human touch is what we're looking for in coaching. So there are many, many tools that we don't have to be in the same physical space, and you don't have to be on.
Yeah,
There's a record for whatever you're doing. There's also personal. There's also
yeah,
technology that helps you to personalize at scale. And the
yeah,
beautiful thing is that the modules are available. ChatGPT has done it. Large language models have done it. Personalization, which used to be the bane of it, coaches can also benefit from it. There's personalization at scale, uh, where AI can
yeah.
analyze the client progress and suggest next best steps, and that frees you from micromanaging. Those are
Yeah.
new techniques of working. And then there's also number three,
Yeah.
community and peer learning.
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, all of us crave human community. We crave human community.
yeah.
I'm putting that also on the screen so everybody can see it, where you can have peer-to-peer learning that not only reduces your workload
Hmm.
but can increase retention, and people
Yeah.
stay for community, not content. After a while, people now begin to love you and what you're doing for community. People now begin to call you my coach. There's subtle signs in language. You begin to hear my coach. Instead
Yeah.
of coach, they say my coach. Those are the
Yes.
ways you know that people have made that shape. Yeah. So technology
Yeah.
doesn't just save time, it creates intimacy. Clients feel connected
Mhm.
through consistent micro touches than one-on-one calls. A message that's auto-generated every day for the first 7 days. Good morning, Tunde. How are you today? I hope you're fine. This me just saying, welcome to my community.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your valuable contributions and all of that. The second day, say, sorry, I'm not bugging you, but just know that if you need anything, I'm here. You can send me a personal message. It may take a while
Yeah.
to respond because I have a lot of people, but please, I
Yeah.
really appreciate you. On Wednesday, who is closest to you? Tell them that that your coach is saying hi to them. For the first 7 days, I'll be giving you messages like this,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need to bug them. Very warm, sweet, powerful messages. It will shock you how
Yes.
people can
Yes.
begin to have a connection with you as a coach as you do this.
Yeah. And in terms of your digital products, the whole delivery process is automated, and the follow-up emails, those are automated. For example, when people I just revised the funnel, right, for my free guide, and that's 7 steps to launch your digital products using AI. Now, you're going to get emails from me for about 2 months. I'm not actually sitting down there and sending those emails for you for the next 2 months. It's already set up. And in that process, talking about nurturing your audience, you're going to get suggestions for my other offers, which is, there's a 7-day challenge to teach you how to launch. And there is the full book that has, the mindsets, the funnels, the tools as well. So everything is already set up. Each offer has its own funnel. So when the ads are running, which is also automated, you have a means of getting people into your business, selling them more and more value. And then you can now also have time to do other things and, just keep making the system better and better. So that frees up time a lot. I'm so obsessed with everything AI is doing, how it's creating content, making it so easy. Like every time I see a new update, I'm just like a little girl with that just gave ice cream or cake. I'm like, oh my god, yes! Because I'm just imagining how much time and the idea, all those ideas that we have, you can go from idea to execution in very, very little time. So make AI your friend. If it's ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, choose your choose your platform that you are most comfortable with, right? Stick to it, and as you keep adding content and engaging with it, it starts to understand you better. And the more it understands you, you're training it to give you better strategy for your goals, right? You're training it to think more like you. You're training it to see how you see. So there's no way you can say that my content sounds like AI, because there's a lot of, there's spirituality, there's metaphysics, there's psychology, then there's your normal, my random ranting in there. So it sounds like me, you
AI
know?
actually has been built to personalize around your use. It's studying you.
Yes.
It's studying you, your flair, how
Hmm.
you write, how you ask questions, and it's going to give you back that.
Yeah. Yeah. When I see people saying, "Oh, please, can you chat?" I just like, me and my chat. We don't do that. I go straight to the point. And when you are answering me, don't explain some. Give me straight to the point, so it knows that. And it's just, we're in exciting times, and this conversation was just amazing. We are at 7:30. This is a good place to pause and say thank you so much to everyone that has tuned in. Coaching of the Future is for future thinking coaches, visionary coaches, and it's so exciting to have Coach David here to just, give us insight and for us to have these discussions. The replay will be shared on our platforms, on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So if you're not following us, make sure you are following us as David Aboduri Adeoye on all platforms. Just Google the name, everything will come out. Falake Igodaro, CEO VIP, all our platforms will come out. It's going to be on both our platforms everywhere. Share with your family, friends, colleagues, enemies, frenemies, everybody that you know needs this, because our next session is going to be even more fire, and we want you to come with an army of people so that we start to build a community. We start to share these fantastic ideas. We start to build on the energy and pass on these values. The key here is execution. We're not just here to gist and discuss and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So next session, it's expected that you come and you tell us what you have done. When you tell us what you have done, then it gives us that we are more encouraged, right? And you also encourage and inspire other people to also do. We are in the age of doing. Mr. Ugo says, um, if you are not, if what you know isn't what you do, then you don't know anything. So you have to do. It's very important that you do. Any last words, Coach
Well, I'm
David?
totally excited.
Mm-hmm.
We need more coaches to be successful. We need more knowledge workers to
Yes.
be richer. The continent of Africa has a lot
Yes.
to offer the world. We got very, very genius
Absolutely.
coaches, super amazing minds.
Yes.
We need to repatriate knowledge and
Yes.
understanding. We need to grow wealth for the African continent. This is my joy, and this is what I'm committed to doing. And this is actually to help everyone who
Yes.
is a knowledge worker to build themselves up to the new place that I think they should be because of the kind of capacities that we have. We
Yeah.
are immensely gifted and talented as Africans, and we need to make this happen.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. We will now end the live in 5, 4, 3, 2,